Hello, everybody. Yo, hey everyone, welcome to Gotham City tonight. I'm Doell, and not a lot of news. Lexi's still getting her new space set up. She found out she needs to go make upgrades, so she was almost here tonight. She was almost, and then found out she won't be. That's kind of how it goes. But that's all right. It's all good. But I want to talk some toys. I know that I think last week on Thursday, and I know I feel like I'm like a week behind. This is old news, but I want to talk about it anyways. I want to talk about McFarlane. I want to talk about McFarlane's 89 Batmobile for the Flash. And I found out last night on Toy Anxiety that it's not a two-seater. And I kind of want to, well, not quite gripe about it, but I do want to talk about it. So with that said, I'm about to get into it. But before I do, I want to say hi to the chat and thank you to everyone who's like here hanging out with me tonight as well. Gotham Stalker, yes, right? Batmobile. John, your cable part 4. Look, we are talking about Batman in your Batman show. Do not worry, John. There's lots of Batman talk to go around. Todd McFarlane is on fire. I absolutely agree. That's I, Brandon 3G, Ian J. Nolan's here as well. Steve Lawrence, Toy Art, Boogeyman 13, Geek Doll Life, Harry Dempsey, and Thanos Copter, and Bubble Wave. Howdy. Awesome. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. I know there's lots happening. There's lots of other stuff happening tonight, so I appreciate you wanting to spend your time with me. With that said, as you probably have noticed, Gotham City tonight, we're halfway to 1,000 subscribers. I know it's like a big, don't plug in subscribers, but I'm gonna do some giveaways when we get to 1,000. When we get to 1,000 subscribers, and it'll be a subscriber base only. You have to be subscribed to enter the draw. So a couple weeks ago, I was able to get some prints signed by Fabuk or Fabuk. I should have asked him how to pronounce his name properly. But I was able to get some signed prints down when he was here for Fan Expo. And I want to give these away. But before I do, I'm going to need 1,000 subscribers. But we're almost there. We are so close to 1,000. And yes, had to get Joker just in case, that kind of thing. But I want to give those away. And yeah, I just thought they were like super cool. And I was like, and these prizes are going to keep building up as we get closer to 1,000. So I'm going to throw in, I have extras. I'm starting to get more and more extras as I go. So I want to make sure some people get some dick. I want to make sure people get some stroke, death stroke, that is. So I'm going to add these to, I guess what they would call a Big Bad Toy Store, a pile of loot. So as we get closer and closer to 1,000, I'm going to add more and more prizes, to the draw as well. And I think it would be totally awesome and totally fun. And I appreciate you all for being here. Like I said, there's lots of other channels and a lot of other stuff happening at the moment. Let's face it, everyone I know has a Mando show. They all need to talk about Mando. And they're all doing it. So again, I appreciate you all for being here. So yes, let's get into it. Let's talk Todd. Let's talk Todd a little bit. Let's hang on. I guess I should again. I'm always missing one thing for prep every time. Let's see here. McFarlane. And oh my gosh, he's got so much stuff. Okay. Let me do a quick presentation. All right. Flash. We all saw this. Everyone posted about this. Everyone had to talk about it. People were dropping videos. You know, the day this dropped, everything. You name it, everyone's talking about it. Here's McFarlane's Batmobile. It's huge, but how huge? So last night when people were talking about, like, we were talking about this, right? As we do on a toy show. And, you know, I found out it's not a two-seater, meaning it's not to scale with the figures, which I have no problem with. I still think it would be awesome if they would just do a proper Keaton Batmobile that's a two-seater. The only thing closest is the Toy Biz one, and that one is missing the canopy at the top. Then Kenner got it, made a canopy, only one-seater. So without trying to become a 1 hour segment of Doell being sad and needing piano music, speaking of which, I'm gonna add a little background for myself so I don't feel like I'm so weird. Right? Toy Connections. Ken, thank you for joining me. I will see you the weekend of April 1st and 2nd at the Vancouver Comic Toy Show. Unless you're not having a booth. Right? But here we go. Batmobile. $70. I am so curious to actually how big it is, and I wish they put a figure beside this so that we could see kind of like get a sense of scale. And I think that's kind of the one thing that that's the one thing I really want, because like you can make these kind of nice little neat backgrounds and stuff for the car, but I have no sense of scale on how big it actually is. And I know the figures are like 7 inches, and if this isn't quite to scale, I was like, well, if it's a two-seater and still a little bit smaller, it might be closer to the Kenner size figures. And then of course it has me thinking about Kenner figures. And so far we've seen out of the entire Flash toy line is this, the 2 McFarlane statues, which to me just scream classic Todd, because that's kind of what Spawn became too, right? When you look at the first wave of Spawn, they were kind of more like actual action figures. Then they eventually just became statues. And then as more toys got made, the more they became like statues. And now we seem to be kind of like doing that again, which is fine if that's your thing. So it had me thinking, are these even fun? Like, granted, we haven't seen the whole wave. We haven't seen everything yet. We don't know who else is getting a figure. And I'm going to assume we're getting Supergirl. And we're going to get Batman. And we're going to get multiple Flashes of all his different incarnations in the 7-figure multiverse style toys. And the Batman will fit in here. I'm assuming. I hope so. And still, I'm just hoping that one day we'll get a proper 2-seater, and I'm not quite sure if the Spin Masters one is also a 2-seater. So I'm really hung up on the seats thing, guys. I apologize. I'm very self-aware that I'm hung up on something very, very trivial that is actually just going to sit on my shelf and not be played with and have figures put inside of it. But for some reason, I gotta know. I gotta know. So with that said, my big question on my mind and on everyone's mind is, or well, not everyone's mind, by everyone, it's just me. It's just me tonight. So I guess I am everyone. And I want to know about the chat. Even with Spin Masters, all the stuff, I'm not going to show the leaked stuff because that might get my, I don't want to get my wrist slapped by Warner Brothers lawyers by any sense. So with that said, we've seen, for anyone who hasn't seen the Spin Masters toys, they're just the figures, right? The same thing as we got with the Batman and Black Adam and all that other stuff. They just make Batman figures, right? Or just the characters. Nothing really crazy. And even when I look at Spin Masters, when I went through their checklist of figures that they've made, they haven't done really many repaints or any kind of real variants. So that's why I'm proposing the question: are modern superhero toys in general, like this could be general, I mostly mean Batman and I mostly mean DC, but this works for Marvel as well when I was thinking about it, are toys fun? Like, I was thinking about all these crazy, wacky things we used to get with Spider-Man, with Batman, even sometimes with X-Men, and you know, even Spawn did it, really, right? Even when they were statues, that's, you know, a lot of those Spawn figures became, you know, now they're kind of canon in his comic. When you've got things like Viking Spawn, Ninja Spawn, Pirate Spawn, right? He could just make any of that stuff up and it was great and it's fun. But now we don't seem to really be getting that anymore. We don't get Antifreeze Batman. We don't get any of that stuff. And I kind of want to see it make a comeback, and I don't care who does it. I just want to see it. So with that said, I'm curious. What does everyone else think? What does everyone else want to see? Because I definitely want to see, like, I would have loved to have seen like the Batman, the Pattinson, even if it was the Spin Masters line, have some crazy weird variants, or even, hang on, here I go. I'm going to go on to figurearchive.net and we take a look at all these crazy Batman figures: Rocket Blast Batman, Firebolt Batman, Bola Strike Batman, Claw Climber, Polar Blast, right? Even look at some of these vehicles, right? The Laser Blade, the Robin Jetfoil, the Skyblade, right? And the Batman never got really any of this. He got his car, his bike, and that was kind of it. It kind of, I don't know, it would have been kind of fun to see toys kind of take some creative liberties again and just have some fun. So yeah, that's what I'm curious about. Is this something that any of you want to see? I'm totally down. I'm going to go to the chat here just for a little bit. Toy Art saying, I would love Batman line that would include all the goofy Batman variants from the 50s and 60s, Batman and World's Finest. Absolutely. And I'm totally down with more, what was it? What do I, like, Holy Scripture canon Batman? Like stuff we see in the comics. And I know even Todd is doing that now with like Heavy Metal. Like he clearly loves that book. But man, I really want to see, like, you know, Arctic Strike Battinson. I just do. In fact, even someone up ahead, like someone earlier was saying, you know, Hot Toys all the way. Right? Let's see if I can. Whoo. Right? Ian J. Hot Toys. It's the only way. I would love it if Hot Toys was kind of, you know how they do with like the Boba Fett's, and they repaint the Boba Fett's, be like, here's a Kenner style Hot Toys Boba Fett. I would love it if they did a Hot Toys Gold Batman or a deep dive Batman in Hot Toys. They did that. I don't know. It's funny. Like when I was a kid, I just wanted a basic Batman. But by the time these came out too, I was just starting to read comics. You gotta remember, I was like an early teenager, so it wasn't until like my late teens, early 20s when I was starting to kind of just embrace and absorb the weirdness that is Kenner, right? And Toy Biz. Like they were doing some weird, wacky stuff, and I loved it. Hang on, I'm just gonna scroll up and pull some more comments up. John Yerkeba, I think that's the thing for me. When I was a kid, fun was gimmicks and playability. Now it's accuracy, posability, Yeah, and how cool of a display it would make for them on my shelf. Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny, I think, what is his name? He works for Hasbro. He just unveiled a, he calls it the Line for Kids, which is like a 5-inch SpiderMan figure. And he said, you know, the best toys are the ones that appeal to adults and kids and are fun to play with. And I was like, well, yeah, I agree. And taking a look at even the new Ninja Turtles, and yeah, let's talk about that too. Like, seeing what they're all coming out with like the ooze and the two play sets. They're getting 2 play sets and accessory packs already, and all the stuff that they come with, and the big vast wave of characters. You know, that's what I would love to see happen with Batman, right? Or just DC, even some Marvel stuff in general, right? Like, we don't get any, like, you know, Aqua, Star, Black Panther. God dang, I would love that. Right? Brandon 3G, someone better make a vault of Bay suits. I agree. I think he means bat suits, but yes, I agree. I absolutely agree. Gotham Stalker, Spin Masters does do variants of their own figures, even chase figures. Correct. But they don't. What are they doing? They're doing like a lot of translucent stuff, and they do stuff that always looks like they have like a grid, but they're not like, I don't know. Maybe am I just old? Maybe I just don't get it. Could be it. That could be it, right? I'm self-aware enough to realize I ain't the youngest tool in the shed. Boogeyman 13, yeah. I prefer screen accuracy, but articulation is also a big thing for me. If I wanted a statue, I'd just buy that. And I'm with you on that, absolutely. And I can be a bit of a joint queen myself, so I get that. So, screen accuracy, yes, I do believe there should always be one figure, at least one figure in the wave that is your basic. You're the one you see on screen action figure. Like, if you're doing, like, when I think about even like these, right? The Batman Returns figures. With all these crazy variants, you could still make a screen accurate Batman from your Bruce Wayne. You had Crime Attack Batman, which was your basic. No gimmicks, just black. You had Shadow Wing Batman, also in the black, but he had the gimmick of like raising the arms. And Thunder Whip, which was like your almost superpower style, squeeze the legs, moves the hand, but again in the black. So you still had a fair amount of just like screen accurate. But you know, they still had Arctic Batman, Air Attack Batman, Arrow Strike Batman. Like, all that stuff is super cool to me. Right? John, your Kaba, I've always been a weird kid. Yeah, John, you're also a weird adult, but never change. I guess if I was buying a toy, I would only really wanted the one that looked how it did on the show, movie, comic. Right? I personally never gravitated towards the variants, and that's totally fair. Again, like I think that's fair, and I was the same way, and I didn't appreciate that stuff until later. And thinking about even my Ghostbusters collection too, like I was a big Ghostbusters kid. They had the first wave of figures, which was your basic Ghostbusters figures, and then they went into those. The waves just got weirder and weirder and weirder, but then they went back to like Power Pack Heroes and Slimed Heroes. And that's what I really loved. I love those last 2 waves and that first wave, because I don't mind variants so much, but I don't need them to get like so weird where my Peter Venkman has like his tongue hanging out and his arms spinning. Like, just didn't need it. But it came with a trap, so I bought it. Gotham Stalker, I have a fully translucent purple Joker and a green Riddler and a red and black translucent Robin, right? Those are the figures I'm totally thinking about. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I just saw a mess. I'm turning that around because that's really funny. And I can't share that. Okay. Oh gosh, how am I pronouncing this? Why can't I read today? Elamist757. Sorry if I butchered that, but thank you so much for being here and hanging out. I feel like the crazy variants lend themselves to the older Batmans, whereas the recent films set the precedents for specific themes per movie, if you will. Absolutely, I agree with that too. You're right. It is harder to probably do an air. Well, maybe not necessarily an air attack. Maybe a tumble and fall air attack, Battinson. But I think I could be wrong. I feel like they did do some weird, crazy variants with Batman versus Superman. There was like that basic line of like, I think they were like 6-inch, maybe 5-inch figures of Batman versus Superman. They were just like 5-7 points articulation. And I think that Batman had some weird variants. Let's see. I might be able to see if I can pull those up. Okay. So they did do some, as we can see here, they did do some weird Batmans for Batman v Superman. So Snyderverse, it got weird. And we're not just talking the fan base. I'm just kidding. I see everyone got like a weird, crazy variant, except for Wonder Woman. Oh no, she did too. She's got like a repaint. Looks like silver and blue, gold and red. She didn't get anything crazy. Same with Aquaman got a classic Aquaman. Okay. So they did have some fun with that line too. So maybe they are doing it more modern. Maybe I'm just out of it, right? Logan Wood, thank you for being here and hanging out. While they do give us accuracy, we longed for certain figures back in the 90s. Correct? You've got companies waiting to cut on cost for everyone and fans more and less bitching about any wild variants. They should. Okay. You're probably not wrong. You are probably not wrong. And we've seen it before. People hate the Star Wars. I am one of the worst culprits for that. Bitching about Star Wars repaints. But there's something about like repaints, and there's something about repaints with the gimmick. And I think that's why the Batman and even Batman animated series stuff were like, yeah, it'll be a repaint, but then he has like this weird clip-on armor that made it like different and cool. But you're probably right. And I mean, we did long for that too, like where, and again, like I was mentioning with Ghostbusters, we get that first wave of just like the basic character, and then we never saw it again. Thanos Copter, for me, good articulation makes them fun and be able to get them into cool poses, but sometimes the gimmicks can be fun too. Absolutely. Ryan B, I hope if McFarlane does 89 returns figures, they do gold label color variants tributing this line. Agreed. And I would love to see them do a tribute line continuing these toys like they're doing with superpowers. Maybe with closer, accurate sculpts. Let's get Toy Otter on the scene. Nolan, give me lots of silver and gold age Batman. Please. I think that's one thing McFarlane's missing out too with Multiverse. He's doing, I love that Marvel Legends now is starting to do a balance, especially with Spider-Man, I feel, with more than any other line, is that they're doing like, here's a wave of modern Spider-Man. But then all of a sudden it's like, but here's your 90s Spider-Man. Here's some 80s Spider-Man. Oh, we're going to do some like early 2000s Ultimate Spider-Man. And I feel like McFarlane needs to do that with Batman just a little more. I know he's done year 2, but let's be honest, he's only doing year 2 because he did the covers. Ian J, they did Cyborg Spider-Man, Punk Rock Spider. Yes, exactly. Hang on. I'm going to show you something. Before we're done tonight, I am going to show off my favorite Spider-Man line. And it's ridiculous and it's dumb and I love it. Ian J, let's get that 89's Batman repainted. in the Kenner. Yes, right? Yes, that's what I want. I would love that. Curtis St. Jean, thank you for hanging out with us, Curtis. Toys are definitely not as fun these days. I'm more excited about the Spin Master Flash Keaton Batman toys than the McFarlane toys. And Curtis, you're not the only one in that boat. I am riding that bat boat with you all the way to Riddler Island. I don't think that's what it was called in Batman Forever, but I just called it that. But I'm with you, 100% with you on that. I am more excited about those. But to say I'm not curious about those McFarlane Batwing and Batmobile, that would be a lie. But I do love the McFarlane Superpowers line, as anyone who watches Toy Anxiety or has been watching the show for a while knows. Thanos Copter, I think the 66 playsets look fun, but never saw them in the store. So I actually only have one. I still don't have it on display. It's the Bat Cave. But get this, I don't have the car. Could never find the car. Can't find the figures. Who would have thought that the Walmart exclusive 66 Batman would be the hottest thing in Canada? I sure didn't, right? Same with all my 66 Batman stuff. Had to order online. Yeah, I think we have them online here at GameStop. Someone sent me, could have been Gotham Stalker? I think someone sent me a link last time and said, oh, you can get them at GameStop. And again, but they didn't have that basic Batman and Robin. I'm being that guy where it's like, well, if I can't get the two basics, then forget it. I'm not collecting the line. I've become that guy. I've become that guy. Justin Nicolosi. Seeing these vehicles on the screen really takes me back. Oh man, yeah, we're going. Yes, right? They're so good. Logan Wood, if figures went for $5 like in the day, oh my gosh, if only, right? I suppose more toy companies would make the leap and create more wild variants, but I don't think anything like that, anything will reach the creative madness of Kenner. I'm with you too. They were beautifully insane. Thanos Copter vehicles are fun, but I don't think the modern scales lend themselves to playsets and vehicles. Not like this. Everyone's doing 6-inch. I think Star Wars is the only one that could really lend themselves deep into playsets and vehicles. And Turtles. Turtles is the other one. Turtles seems to be this like crazy exception to the rule, and Playmates just keeps on ticking and making them, and they don't care. And I feel like with every new version, every new version of the Turtles that comes out, boom, we get a turtle lair, right? And you got to remember too, like even the Bay line, we got a Technodrome for whatever that was, right? Ian J, as a kid, it drove me crazy when I could never find the screen accurate Batman, but Neon Glow Batman with disco dance action was available. Yeah, I will. Again, you got to I was a little older when all that Batman stuff came out. I was really big into like comics and X-Men, and because of that as well, like technically still a kid, right? You're 10, 11 and 12 years old. You're still a kid. And I was in that same boat where, however, there's the Batman that was, what was it? It's the Batman in the gray and the blue, the Skywinch Batman. Easily one of my favorite figures of all time. I love that figure. Even as a kid, I was like, yep. But again, that's because it looked like a new version of my Superpowers Batman that I absolutely loved. Here, let's just look at that. Right? Best toy. The best. Right? I'll give up a little bit of articulation for spot on likeness. Interesting. That was from Nolan. Not a lot of folks would say that, but because a lot of people are all like, no, I need articulation, but it's like, I get that. Sure. You know, Nolan, if you get Hot Toys, you get a little bit of both. Lifelong toy collector, trademark. Give me one super articulated, screen accurate figure, and I'll gladly buy a bunch of Aqua Arctic laser variants. I'm with you on that. I just need one good basic. Ryan B, NECA did an Attack Strike version. I didn't get it though. Correct. They did. I want it. I should find it. Arctic Blast Ghostbusters from Boogeyman 13. I wish. Because, okay, so for those of you who don't know, maybe you do, the cold weather gear versions of anything, whether it's Joe's, Batman, SpiderMan, Star Wars, right, with Hoth and all that kind of stuff, if it's winter, snow, cold weather related, it is automatically my favorite. That could be because I love winter. I love the cold. When I was a kid, I loved playing out in the cold and in the snow. And these are what those characters represented. So even with the G.I. Joes, like the snow vehicles, all that stuff. So if they ever made Arctic Blast Ghostbusters, whoo, game changer. Changed my life forever. John Yakeba, Ghostbusters is my one exception to most rules. Oh, of course it is, John. I think because I love Ghostbusters so entirely, I will always want everything Ghostbusters. I love other things too, but usually not to that degree. That's fair. We all have our thing. Dude, when I was a kid, if it was new in Ghostbusters, even if it was a screaming Peter Venkman with his arms spinning and his tongue hanging out, or if it was Winston Zeddemore in a green bubble helmet spacesuit, I was still getting them because I was just excited to see new Ghostbusters stuff. So, I get it. Ian J, the idea of a new Pattinson Batman movie having fun toys is so wrong to me. I love it. It's like Rambo having a cartoon show. The 80s live again. Dude, you gotta remember, like, Terminator had crazy weird figures too, and RoboCop. What the hell, right? Like, so why not Pattinson? Why not? Logan, I'm more interested in seeing the Spin Master's Batmobile up close. Same here. The Batmobile they did for the Batman was the closest thing I got that harkens back to the Kenner era that I've seen in years. Agreed. And also, speaking of the Spin Masters, like the Batmobile and stuff like that, I don't know if anyone got it. I got it. There was like the Batcave playset, which was like the stairwell with the bridge, and it had the Bat computer, and it had like the Batman workbench. It had a platform to put your Bat cycle, and it came with the Bat cycle. It came with the Penguin and a Batman where you could take off the cowl and the armor and stuff, so you could have like, you know, your own quick change Batman. And to me, it was simple. It wasn't as the Toy Biz one to me is pretty elaborate, even though it's fragile. And the Kenner Command Center, right? That one's crazy elaborate and fun. To me, that's like this is like the ultimate Dollhouse. Oh gosh. Oh, the site's freezing up. Hopefully it'll work. But I felt that the little bridge and back computers and all that stuff, I like that. I was like, it made me feel like a kid again, because I was like, my imagination went, and I was like, I could totally see myself like under the table, or putting that under the Christmas tree and playing as a kid, right? I can see all that stuff, right? I think the Nolan films had some variants. Let's check it out. John Yerkeba, as he does, it's going to be like, hey, Dark Knight. What's Dark Knight Collection? Oh, the website's still kind of freezing up. This website kind of comes and goes. It gets a lot of traffic, so that's kind of what happens. You got the name totally correct. Thank you for being, thank you for hanging out. Harry Dempsey seems lines now do one or the other and not a combination of accuracy and variance. Agreed. Absolutely agreed. And gosh, see, and I keep thinking about like how cool it would have been if Into the Spider-Verse like got toys like these Batman and the old Toys Biz Spider-Man. I would love that. Toy art, Wonder Woman is oddly only variants and no classic except for superpowers. Crazy enough, it is. You're correct. You are correct. Yara Flow variant for Wonder Woman would be cool. I would love that. I'm always down, right? Yeah, see? Due to high traffic. John, I'm blaming you. Let's see. Hang on. I had multiple windows ready just in case. Just in case this happened. Whoop. Let's do that. Give me one moment, folks. There we go. My favorite Spider-Man line. Web splashers. It's so ridiculous. There's not one basic Spider-Man in this entire line. And even the one that you feel that is a basic Spider-Man still is not a basic Spider-Man. I love it. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. Ryan B, as a kid, I almost never played with those variants. What? Only the regular and Bruce Wayne changing suit. Well, maybe I'm the one that's wrong. I don't know why I like the variants so much. Am I just like freaking weird? Toy art. I think McFarlane is doing more weird Silver Age Batman slowly with 66. Agreed. We're slowly getting there. Nolan, toy art, agreed. Thought we would have got Two-Face in 66 line. Yeah, who would have? Yeah, we got 66. That's insane that we're getting Two-Face, which means if they're doing the comic book stuff for Batman 66, we might get Bane. Boogeyman 13, to your point, I think that the influx of kidults in the market now and their economic impact has changed the toys produced. Oh! The only lines that go crazy are explicitly ones for kids. Agreed. And I do kind of make fun of this a little bit. And everyone says I'm crazy. And people were like, well, kids don't play with toys. They play with tablets. They play with their computers and their Game Boys and their Sega Genesis, right? And all that kind of stuff. But look, we all talk about how pegs are empty. You can't find the toys. We got to search for them. If you want to find them, you have to go to a toy show. You got to pay a scalper. You got to go on Facebook Marketplace. Look, hey, maybe kidults are buying up the toys and the kids aren't getting them, which is why they're not playing with them. And I know a lot of kidults still buy toys for their kids. I know Geek Dad Jay is definitely one of them. He's definitely an advocate for buying his kids toys. But I think you are right in the sense that, yeah, the kidults are the ones online saying, why aren't we getting this? Why aren't we getting this? And they're making it. So, you got a fair point. And Boogeyman again, case in point, the DC Imagine X line did super crazy variants. Correct. And Lexi, when she's back, we're going to have to get her full breakdown on DC Imagine X because she just started getting into them. And as soon as adults got involved, the variety is toned down for more comic and movie accuracy. It's adults ruin everything. Am I right? God, get out of here, adults. Just trying to have my toys. I just want my weird ass toys. Ian J, the 66 line, does a fun and accurate variants. Surfer, Boxer, Pink Cowl, even Alfred. Batman with the stylish mustache. Woo! Agreed. But those are all on-screen canon Batman 66 variants. So as weird as they are, guess what? That was in the show. And that show was weird. The show's great. Ian J, those turtles look so fun. I hope my kids want them all so I have an excuse to buy them all. Dude, just get it. You get them for your kids? See what happens. Have them come home one day and be like, yo. Or take them to the movie and already have the toys at home waiting for them. So if they love the movie, you can be all like, coolest dad in the world, right here. Gotham Stalker, the basic 66 Batman and Robin are long gone. Oh, I know. But you can still get black and white versions, which why would anyone want that? Or the Lunchbox set with Batman, Robin, Joker, and Penguin. Was the Lunchbox set, were those the color versions? Because I sure as hell don't want a black and white versions of Batman and Robin based on a show that was made the way it was specifically for color TV. Come on. Why would you do that, Todd? Elemist, the turtles come with turtle cream. Yeah, when you get that turtle itch, get out your turtle cream. Nolan, especially with the new turtle van, oh man, again, like doesn't that, when you look at that turtle van, do you not feel like you're a kid again? Like with the combination of the pizza launcher and the turtle van and that slice of pizza on top, just kind of like, I just want to do chef's kiss, because it's, to me, this might be the best version of the turtle van I've seen. And that doesn't take anything away from the 2012 turtle van or the Mikey's birthday party from the first animated movie from like, what, 15 years ago now? But yeah, like all turtle vans are great turtle vans, but clearly some are better, right? The blue and gray one, yes, my favorite. Dude, me too. Batman blue and gray will always be my boy. Logan Wood, while probably a total pipe dream ever since they did retro Real Ghostbusters line, I've held hope to get something similar on the Batman front, like a retro Dark Knight collection. So like, yes and no, because I feel like the Dark Knight collection and Batman Returns figures are still super easily accessible, even on card. And I'm also in that mindset of let the past be the past. However, if you can make me new versions in a retro style, like they're doing with DC Superpowers or with Star Wars retros, where they're making Mandalorian figures to look like the 70s figures, that's my jam. That's where I want it. That's what I want Ghostbusters to do. That's what I want Batman to do. That's what I want. Everything. I love that. I love that so much. Toy art. Oh, I just scored a mint on card Bruce Wayne from the Batman Returns line. Perfect. Congratulations, Toy art. I love that. Right? I love that figure. A lot. Sorry, I am like 15 minutes behind on the chat. Maybe I'll go a little faster here. I am Brandon 3G. I love Skywinch Batman and Tim Drake Robin from Kenner. So do I, which is why I'm so stoked for it. Nightfall Batman and Robin McFarlane is making. Can't wait. Agreed. I am like foaming at the mouth waiting for that Superpowers Robin, that Tim Drake one to come out. Yeah, those hot toys are pretty amazing. I know. Now just do Arctic Blast. Thanos Copter. These kind of toys are cool. Specialty armors could be sold in packs to equip with other figs. Agreed. That's what I was thinking of, right? I think that was the best part about the Dark Knight collection of Batman Returns line, is that it was all clip-on armor. So you could put that on the basic Batman, right? They're pretty much glorified accessory packs. Logan Wood, probably not entirely possible with Nicholson's Joker being so costly to get the likeness for, though. Wrong. I don't think... I can't... Is it his deal where it's like his likeness? I thought the deal with Jack Nicholson was anything they sold that had to do with the Joker in general, he gets a cut. And he made a killing in '89 just off Batman merch. In fact, I think he made more off Joker merchandise than he did making the actual movie, which is absolutely insane. Jordan Andrews, thank you for being here, hanging out. I used to get so mad when toys were Batman or Spider-Man would be like a four-wheeler. 6-year-old me was like, who wants this? Yeah, dude, I was okay with, oh man, I shouldn't say I wasn't okay with it, because I was totally okay with it. John Yerkeba, oh man, I'm the opposite. Give me super articulated screen accurate figure of all my favorite characters and I might stop buying toys. Dude, I'm in the same boat. I have not stopped collecting Marvel Legends in the slightest, and I'm buying superpowers like Craig Goldberg buys retro real Ghostbusters. Like, he just cleaned out Walmart's. He's got a closet stacked full of Ghostbusters retros. Don't believe me? Ask him. Flash 739. I might still have the original Deep Dive Batman. Dude, I've got like 2 of them. And I love it. Boogeyman 13. What do you remember? What? You don't remember the part Sam Raimi's Spider-Man where Tibet busted out the ATV and ran down Copy? Oh my god. Right? Thanos Copter. I love some of those old superhero vehicle, but they were absolutely amazing, just sheer ridiculous. Dude, I remember that. Like, you'd have the 4-wheeler ATV. It's like, and Batman had those too. Like, everyone had those. I'm wondering who the target audience is of those. We have to find out. We have to find if there's anyone here that had those toys as a kid where they were just like, here's Batman on a skidoo. Can't take him off. If there he is. If that was your jam, let me know. Will Schmidt, thank you for being here, Will. Dude, Power Arm Terminator is one of my favorite toys of all time. Also love NECA's version from a few years ago, and I also love that NECA does that with Aliens, and they go back and recreate better versions of the Kenner figures. Curtis St. John, if McFarlane did superpower style figures based on the Flash movies, that would be amazing. I'm with you on that. I've mentioned that before, where I just want the Dark Knight collection and Batman Returns and then the Flash, all to have that same style packaging, look, sculpt, and style. I would love nothing more with that. And it seems like we're getting multiple different Flashes, so there's your Flash variants. This looks like we're done here. Jordan, yeah, I appreciate the random vehicles, etc. now that I'm older. Yeah, same here. It's weird. It's almost like we grow into them. It's totally weird. John Yerkeba, I always loved the Dark Knight toy line because it felt like the last era of normal young line that looked great and a deluxe line that was great, and none were specifically for collectors. Agreed. And I think that's what made it so funny when they announced, like, oh hey, we're doing a Marvel line of 5-inch figures, and the tagline even says we're for kids. And I've had more of my adult friends being like, these are the figures I'm getting. I was like, but it says right there it's for kids. Just let kids have them. Jesus. Harry Dempsey, the Wayne Manor playset has got to be one of the most repainted playset in history. It absolutely has to be. Agreed. Jordan, remember how the Bane figure from Batman and Robin was just a great comic figure and nothing like the movie? Dude, here's a little insider tidbit for you on those Batman and Robin figures. So all of them are based off concept art. None of them are based off the movie. So when you had either repaints from Batman Forever, and you had the Poison Ivy, the Batgirl, Bane, and the Nightwing-ish style Robin, boom, all of a sudden it was like, there it is. And they were just based off the concept art. The toy Kenner, I think is also / Hasbro at the time, did not have time to make the toys properly. In fact, they did not even have time to make the movie properly. Batman and Robin got greenlit so fast after how much gangbusters Batman Forever did that they were in a total rush to get the second movie out. So they were already writing it. They wrote it, which is why you'll also notice like Batman and Robin has a lot of reused sets and reused score from Batman Forever. And they pumped it out. They pumped that movie, a movie that should be taking 3 or more years to make. They got it out in 2.5. And that it has to include the toy line and the merchandise. So in case you're wondering how that happened, it was like, here's some concept art, go make some toys. That was it. There was no pictures from the movie set for them to base their work off of. Derek Hoover, tardy to the party, Doll. Hello, good to see your face. Thank you, Derek. It's nice to see your name here and hanging out in the chat tonight. Nolan, might be a little controversial, but the kids that really don't play with toys any play with toys anymore is more about the parents. I think my kids will play with toys except my teens. Absolutely, I'm with you on this as well. I believe it's a parent thing. Agreed. Sammy Delco, thank you, Sammy, for being here. What's up, Gotham Maniacs? Good morning from Abu Dhabi. Oh, well, hello from good evening from Canada. I'm so stoked from the 66 Bat boat and hope that the 6-inch scale Batcopter is something I never dared to dream of. It's so funny you say that, Sammy, because when they showed off the 66 Bat boat, I was like, make a copter, make sure it has the ladder, and make sure there's a little part there where you can have shark repellent. 100%. I'm with you, Sammy. Thank you so much for being here and hanging out with us. Curtis St. John, I still have mine. A great figure. Oh, I missed something up and above there. Derek Hoover, Doell, toys waiting at home after the kiddo has been an experience with that IP is always gangbusters. Dude, I think that is, I agree. I think Turtles movies and toys and Turtles is a gold mine for just like rebooting, refreshing, new toys, new movies, new kids, right? Like, I think that's why we all, in some form or fashion, we all love Ninja Turtles. All our versions of what we love might be different. I know this is comes off as a hot take to a lot of folks when I say I'm not a fan of the 80s cartoon. And I know that's always like a big thing where it always sounds like blasphemy, but it's not. I'm more of a Archie comic kid, right? And the arcade games, right? That was my Turtles. Gotham Stalker, they are colored just with white eyes like the vintage cards. Yes, that's all we need. That's all we need. Elemis, anyone think that there will be action figures for the Batman X TMNT stuff, or is it already out there? I didn't know about it. There is. They did do some. DC directed some about maybe 4 years ago, and they did 2-packs. So you got like, what was it? Like Batman and Leonardo. You got Robin and Michelangelo. You even got like Alfred in a 2-pack, which was absolutely wild. And yes, right? They did do that line. Justin Nicolosi, speaking of retro figures, my Target had the 40th anniversary turn of the Jedi figures. Got them all. Nice. Nice. Glad that you were able to find those. Alice and Troy, greetings. Thank you for being here and hanging out. Harry, with the exception of the combat belt, most on-card Kenner can be found for under 30 US. Agreed. I just got, again, I don't know how things are going to change with the toy show, with the Flash trailer that just dropped, but I got mine all on card for $10 a pop at a toy show. Easy peasy. Derek Hoover, merchandising deal is stuff of legend. I 100% think that he would blink at having his likeness used. Hubba, hubba, hubba. Money, money, money. Agreed. Ian J. Loving grandmas did not fully understand the appeal of these things where the target demographic. Yeah, for those weird ones, I have to imagine. I like when I saw cold weather gear stuff, I'm all about it. I don't mind the variant. I didn't mind the variants, but you're right. Like sometimes when you're on, do you know which Batman variant bugged me the most? It was that one that was like silver and quilted. And I wish this dang website would work again so we could get into it. But I can't get into the dang site. It's still high traffic. Everybody's busy. We're stuck on SpiderMan, folks. Right? Derek Hoover, my younger brothers received various heroes and ATVs and such, and I think it was an easy, cheap, low tooling option that was kind, unassuming, and would buy for their B-Day. Here, have a Spider-Man. Good call. I don't think you're wrong there. Allison, I was already an adult toy collector when the stuff was coming out, but there were definitely kids buying these water toys. Yes. I agree with you, Allison. They're like, there's a reason why these variants were so popular and they kept doing it. Like Legends of the Batman, all that stuff. Absolutely. Right? Allison, again, the Batgirl figure was the original costume. They removed the cowl because it kept ripping Alicia Silverstone's hair out, and her hair was part of her deal. Yes, I do remember hearing about that as well. But when I look at the concept art, that toy looks more like the concept art as well. But I do, gosh, there are photos somewhere, you're right, of Alicia Silverstone wearing that full cowl, and they did that one weird helmet thing where they kind of just gave it to us for a hot minute. I'm going to watch Batman and Robin tonight. I don't care. Gotham Stalker, I need a 66 Batgirl cycle. Question for those in the chat, did they make a 66 Batgirl yet of Yvonne Craig? If not, why not? Well, besides it being McFarlane, because you'd think she would be like one of the most important characters in the line. I feel like he has, and I just feel like I'm blanking. Harry, the 66 solicitations are making me completely rearrange the shelves. There's no way I can tolerate the study not being above the Batcave. Agreed, and I love that study playset, and it just, again, I just want to talk about how sweet it would be to have the, you know how they had the, you could switch Batman, you'd put him into the thing, just like the Beetlejuice coffin or the custom coupe from Batman Returns. You put the figure in, spins around, and then there's your Batman figure. They need to do that with Batman 66, but you need a Dick Grayson and Bruce Wayne that you could put into where the poles are, and when they come down, the thing turns, and it's Batman and Robin by the time it lands. Somebody get me on the phone with McFarlane. I just came up with the best playset in the world. Boogeyman 13, a 6-year-old, loves going on toy runs. That's awesome. I love that you can do that with your kid. And it was actually sharing that with him that got me back into toy collecting. Oh, that's kind of cool. He is legitimately excited about going to Toylanta later this month. Well, Boogeyman 13, be sure to check out, when you're at Toylanta, Craig, Abby, and Jacob will be there from Toy Anxiety, so be sure to go say hi to everyone but Jake. Jake hates people. John Yerkeba, I stand in solidarity with you, Doell. Thank you. I don't go back. I don't go any further back than 2003 animated series, or really the 2007 movie, to be honest, for my TMNT enjoyment. My favorite Turtles is still the 2012 animated series. Best Turtles we've ever gotten. John Yerkeba, I also know I'm an outlier because Rise of the TMNT is my favorite TMNT animated series. The animation and vibe was just, to me, so far, the Netflix Rise of TMNT movie is my favorite TMNT movie. Not even a hot take. And here's the other thing, too, with that cartoon, and I will agree with you there, John. The only thing I found jarring about it, it had nothing to do with the animation. It had nothing to do with the style. It had nothing to do with the fact that there was, like, no Shredder. In fact, I actually like Meat Sweats, who's one of the new villains. I think he's an awesome design character, also voiced by John Cena, I do believe. And what jarred me was Raphael being the leader, and Johnny or Leo kind of reminded me more of Raph from the 80s cartoon. So it was the dynamic shift that threw me for a loop. And when you're so used to it one way, when they switch it around like that, it just kind of, oh, what do you, don't do that. But I love the style of everything else. I loved it. No 66 Batgirl yet. I think it's likeness. Let's get Yvonne Craig's family on the phone. Let's get everyone paid. All right. Let's do that. Gotham Stalker, only female in the 66 line are the 2 Catwoman figures, which, to me, that's great. They should make a Katya from the Batman movie. Nolan, I thought Batgirl was a CDCC exclusive. Oh, gosh. I'm going to look this up. Okay. Batman 66. McFarlane. I think Mattel did it. Looks like Mattel did it, but not McFarlane. And there was the 66 Yvonne Craig. That was like a reaction figure from Super 7. Right? Prototypes, Warner Brothers. They did an 8-inch figure. What's this? Available for the first time, Batgirl. And Mattel did one. But I can't see one that's done by McFarlane. Yvonne Craig is like perfect. She was so good. Unlimited power! Doell, should I click Power of the Force? Like the old Kenner ones? Why not? They're cheap. They're fun. If you like buff Luke, I say go for it. I'm always down. I'll never tell someone they shouldn't collect Power of the Force, but if you have the space and means to collect Power of the Force, I say I will have your back. Unlimited power. 100%. Curtis, 2 things that really got me excited about modern collecting this week: the Book of Boba Fett Retro Collection Wave and the TMNT Mutant Mayhem Turtle Van. Both are exciting. I agree. And I actually love that the Book of Fett retro line. And I've been waiting for a Fennec Shand from that line for a while, it feels like. And even though we are getting a reissued Mando, but just with the Darksaber, couldn't care less. I'm fine with that. Gotham Stalker, the Lego 66 Batcave set has that kind of gimmick where you put Bruce and Dick in the bookcase, hit the switch and the ledge and the platform, and Batman and Robin slide down the Batpole. See? That's the toys we need. We need that, but for action figures. Derek Hoover, applying to Boogeyman. Toy hunting with your kid is so damn great. Even if you're stressed or worked up about things, it's really a nice pause button. And you just get to go have a great shared experience. That's really nice. I'm really happy to see that people are doing that as a family. That's super nice. Jordan Andrews, I'm going to a toy show in Raleigh, North Carolina. I hope that's right. You got to remember, I'm Canadian, so I'm hoping I got that abbreviation right. This weekend with my kids. Fun to see the Geek Dad Life guys. Oh, yeah, so awesome. Yeah, they should be there. Make sure to bring your own accessories so you can stump that John. Derek Hoover, wait, I thought Batman 66 has made all 3 Catwomen. That's actually a great question, too. Because I feel like they also have. Gotham Stalker, Mattel has a Batgirl in a 3-pack and a special single box. I have those. Yeah, the special single box looks great. Right? Gotham Stalker, but the thing with Yvonne likeness, if you don't have an unmasked version, is it really her likeness? That's the whole point of masks, isn't it? The 3-pack is pricey, Nolan says. And they've made Eartha. We still need Julie Newmar. Okay. McFarlane, I know you're watching. Todd? One more Catwoman. Batgirl, please. Batgirl, please. John Yerkeba, I will absolutely be getting at least the Turtles in April from Mutant Mayhem. I love the character design so much. I think it's going to be even hard for me to turn down all 4 of the Turtles. I love anytime Donnie's got glasses, man. I'm such a sucker for it. I think all the designs for all 4 are just amazing. Unlimited power. I want more Batman 66 Hot Toys. I think it's time to bring them all back out. The Batman and Robin are very, very expensive now. Gotham Stalker, no, just 2 Catwoman. There we go. Gotham Stalker says Boogeyman is pronounced Rayleigh. Oh! Don't let Jay hear you say it the other way. Well, now that I know it's going to bug Jay, now I'm going to do it. But that's it, folks. I am caught up with the chat. We've been here for an hour hanging out. thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. And thank you for coming and just talking about toys and like just cool Batman toys and stuff we'd love to see and just weird, crazy, wacky gimmicks. And oh, Vicman de Santiago's here too. Thank you. Thank you for hanging out. Right? So, but that's it. If there's anything else you want to see, don't forget to leave a comment below. Hit that like button so that we can have more just kind of like fun, crazy topic discussions, whether it's about, I want to talk about figures we haven't seen. I want to talk about comic books still. I think next week I'm going to do some more recommended reading. I mean, we'll do some more Batman talk, some more movie talk. As I wait for Lexi to get herself just situated, set up, like I said, I think next week I'm going to do an unboxing if she's still not back. And maybe we'll do an unboxing and a watch along at the same time. Who's down for watching some Batman with me at the same time? And we can do our own commentary. Have some fun. Could be a lot of fun. But anyways, that is it, everyone. Thank you so much for hanging out. I look forward to next week. If you're watching this on the replay, thank you for watching on the replay. I will see you on Tuesday on Toy Anxiety, and I will see you next week here on Gotham City Tonight.